Here it is, the all-new Cadillac ATS, the baby Cadillac, with a very simple mission. Get out there and settle the score with the 3 Series and the C-Class. Or don't come home. Let's drive this 2013 ATS all-wheel drive sedan and check the tech. An ATS has got pretty similar proportions to the 3 Series or a C-Class. The look is like neither. It's got none of that swoopy, rounded stuff of the 3. A little bit of a resemblance to a C in the front, but there's so much other Cadillac DNA going on. And I really like how the shoulders flow down over its hips as you look at it from front cross-section. To my eye, it's the most clean, honest, and modern Cadillac out there. It doesn't have all that Baroque excess you still find in the Escalade, nor does it have that kind of doughy, machismo, Tommy Bahama look of the CTS and its other siblings. It's a clean, honest, urban-looking car. Now, the Cadillac design language is carried over inside the vehicle, but not quite to the degree of excess you see in some of their other cars, which I kind of like the way it's dialed back a little. I don't get quite so many of these sort of trapezoidal shapes. The steering wheel's very Cadillac. The crest still is going to put some people off as fuddy-duddy. The main effect, of course, is this guy right here. See what happened when I did that? Look, pull my hands away, and the Cadillac Q user experience goes to a relatively clean screen after a few moments. But as I approach the screen, other options come up on the top and bottom ribbon. That's one of the keys to what they do here, proximity sensing to keep things clean when you don't need to have additional details up there. Navigation is not in every Q head unit. Just because you have this interface doesn't mean you have nav. Bear that in mind. It's basically an $800 differential to get it on top of Q. They rave a lot about how this nav interface is like a tablet. You can pinch and zoom, and they wish. The response is so much more poor than on even a cheap tablet. They shouldn't make that comparison until they've got more horsepower behind it. They rave about natural voice command. Everybody does. Let's see if they're serious.
Say a command or say help.
Address.
Say the address in California, or say the command change state if your address.
1000 Van Ness Avenue, San Francisco, California.
1000 Van Ness Avenue, San Francisco, California. Is that correct?
Damn right it is. Now let's go to our audio sources. That's a key part of this thing. Notice you've got audio and Pandora both surfaced here. I always find that kind of dopey. It's like, just put all the audio together, but a lot of systems do that. Under media, you're going to find your fun stuff. You can get your disc, which is over here in the glove box. You've got an optical drive there. My iPod hooks up through a USB here, or through a USB here into this kind of weird little lift-up deal. They put a blue light on it, though, so it's easy to find. That's nice. Streaming, of course, via my smartphone, same way I do my calling and do my contacts integration. We've got the fancy Bose system in this guy. You can center it on driver, rear seat, center point, which is their DSP setting, and you've got pretty basic tone controls beyond that. Notice I can drag these presets up and down if I want to see a bunch of them, or just one ribbon at a time, or none at all. Similar flexibility goes for this little display here in the speedometer. Using this rocker switch on the wheel, I can either expand my fuel information there or put different information in that window. Go to the middle, and there I can show my phone, settings, go after navigation. On the left, I can show my digital speedo, expand that, or my odometers, as well as fuel range. Now, because we've got the V6, which we'll talk about in a minute, one choice only on the gearbox, automatic transmission right here, shiftable gate on the left. You probably saw the paddles on the wheel. Hard to miss them. It's a Cadillac. They're chrome, and they're big, and they're on the wheel, so they're always in the wrong place when you want them. Now, when and if you get the hood up on this car, we had 3 smart guys work on it for like 5 minutes, then the 3 of us for 10 more. There we go. World's cheapest little sheet metal lever ever. Note to Cadillac. Here's the big motor. That's what they sent us. 3.6-liter direct injection V6. Does some good numbers. 321 horse, 274 foot-pounds of torque. Moves this 3,300-pound sedan to 60 in about 5.3, 5.4. We have the all-wheel drive here, by the way. MPG is 2228. I mean, not bad, all things given, but that's where the other 2 smaller engines intrigue me more. There's a 2.5-liter 4, the bore 4. Why bother? The middle engine's the cool one. A 2-liter 4 with a twin-scroll turbo and direct injection. Gets a just right 272 horse and 260 foot-pounds of torque, and delivers the full 30 highway MPG. Plus, you can get that guy with a 6-speed manual. Like the other little motor, you can't in this guy. This is a great engine. It's a lot of engine. A 3.6 V6 in this car is plenty of power. And the power comes on just beautifully. The problem is the transmission gets in the way. Remember? Automatic only on the 3.6 V6. And that's too bad, because in any of the automatic modes, it's a bore. It falls on its face, it misses shifts, it hunts too high too often, and it pisses me off. What you can do, of course, is knock it into manual mode, shift it yourself, and it basically gets out of the way at that point. The shifts are pretty tight when you're doing them. Great exhaust note, and I like the combination in this car of handling and compliance. They've done a great job dialing in comfortable ride, which you've got to have in a Cadillac, and good handling without being punishingly harsh that keeps it upright in turns. I mean, I could drive this little car all day. It doesn't feel as heavy as a CTS. I didn't even bother to compare the weights. I'm sure there's a couple 300 pounds difference between them. There's a 9-inch difference, I can tell you that. This car is significantly shorter, and it feels more sprightly and joyous. Bottom line, the ATS is a success with this engine, but you gotta get around the gearbox. That's why I'm so intrigued by that 2-liter DI Turbo 4, and I can't wait to drive one of those to compare. Now let's price this ATS. I'm talking about the V6 in this particular case. $42,090 is your basic V6, but you got to add about $5,500 on top of that to go CNET style. That means you get to what they call the premium level. That rolls in navigation, surround sound, and a variety of niceties, including magnetic ride control suspension. But how's the ATS going to do in general? I think what we've got to watch here is, does it have enough to pry people away from outstanding German sedans? If you equal someone who's already got a big lead in front of you, that may not be enough. This car has to play on a few coins. First of all, better value. Second of all, buy American. Third, a different look that I finally think Cadillac can say is actually better.